everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. This is Chad. Wow, that was awkward. All right. This is our monthly live stream for Fifth Avenue Cigars, where we talk about Alaskan, some cigars we're having, and just bullshit. And you get to go along for the ride, light one up, and just hang out with us. And comment and make fun of us and throw digital tomatoes. So, yeah.
And today, Chuke here.
Yeah.
And we have a special guest, my buddy Brandon.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Known as Brando Commando on Instagram. And he is a professional dog trainer. He trained my insane Akita in a 2-week board and kennel train.
Yep, board and
went
train.
from completely insane, going to kill somebody, to a little robot that just like would follow my side and just like you can control it with this little Star Trek thing.
Yes.
But he's a professional dog trainer. So we'll let him talk about the business. And he told me he wanted to smoke cigars with me. He likes cigars. So I was like, oh, man, let's come on the show with these guys.
I will say we got a professional Alaskan and we got a professional dog whisperer.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So I work for Off Leash Canine Training company in Alaska. And usually what we do is you bring your dogs to us, and for 2 weeks we keep them, we train them. And you
reprogram them.
Yeah, reprogram them pretty much. And, you know, having a dog that doesn't listen and getting into stuff, and then you have a perfectly well-behaved dog. And I probably have trained around 250 dogs since I've been up here. So always busy, always working.
And there was a wait list. I remember I had to wait a few months before I could get my dog in. So
so
there's
there's
a popular training thing.
Yes. Yeah, and love doing it. And I was watching Chuke's videos even before I became a dog trainer. So once I saw the email, I was like, that looks familiar. I was like, oh, shit.
I was actually going to point out, like, we were playing a game earlier, if you want to show your hands, or you don't have to.
Oh, yeah.
No, his hands, like, we got a top-down camera.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got.
Yeah, we got a camera right above you. Yeah, but we were playing the fun game of, was it transient or was it a dog that got a hold of you? Yeah.
When you said that, when I was walking in, and I thought you were talking about like out front.
was it a pit bull or a transient? Let's decide. Discuss.
But before we get too much further, I've still got to light up my cigar. And before I take it out of the wrapper, I just wanted to show everybody. We got the.
You know what's cool is we have this top-down cam that someone spent a lot of time on.
Got that.
We got the bottle rocket from Punch.
That looks
brand
like
new
about
one
30
from
seconds
them.
of fun.
It hopefully will be. But yeah, so I just want to show it off before I take off the little scooter stick and take it out of the wrapper. Pretty
I really
cool
hope
little...
when you light it, there's like a little thing in the end that goes. It'd be cool if it came with like a kazoo or like a little whistle that made that sound.
Do you ever see? Do you remember cigarette loads? You ever fuck around with those when you're young? Cigarette loads are a product you can buy. They come in a little tin. This is one of those delightful like grandpa things. They don't allow this anymore. It's a tiny, tiny little stick that is a explosive, and it's meant to be stuck in the end of a cigarette. You ever see like a little cartoon?
Oh, the cartoons,
or the
movies.
Memories, old cartoons, or somebody lights bang. It's like it's a tiny little explosive that you stick in somebody's cigarette without them knowing it. When they light it, it pops. And they got rid of it because it would like blast shit into people's eyeballs and stuff like that, right? But I can only hope that Punch is bringing it back if Chad's about to explode on camera.
Well, I mean, we're gonna find out.
I mean, Chad's already exploded multiple times on camera.
Lighters.
Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
All right. So you're having, what was it, the Punch Bottle Rocket?
Punch Bottle Rocket.
All right.
It says Year of the Snake on it.
Yes. I don't know why, but I feel like you have to do the dodgeball thing where it's the Vipers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cobras.
The Cobras, yeah.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Yeah. What are you having, Ben?
I'm having the Black Label from McAuliffe.
That is
new to the shop.
That is a cigar that if you throw on the ground would immediately stand erect. Like it is a very, very, very hard cigar.
Well, so far it's pretty good. I mean, my light up's smooth, very smooth for a light up.
Oh,
honestly.
it's deceptive. Like it put me on my ass.
I might have had this before. We had that, some months ago. We did a McAuliffe live stream with the people on there.
They gave
I can't
us,
remember which one I had anymore.
They gave us like 6 of those as part of the sampler. I think I had one, and during the live stream, if we go back to it, you literally see me break out into a cold sweat when I get halfway through it. I was fine, and then I did a retrohale, and it's like I'm not okay anymore. I'm really fucked up. This is not good.
Well, I'm enjoying it so far. I don't know much about
It
it,
was
other than
delicious.
the McAuliffe folks are nice people, and I know I've enjoyed it previously, so happy to have it.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, man? What you got?
So I have the Drew Estate Java. It's like a coffee.
Is that the red label?
Red
Yeah,
label.
red label.
The Java.
The Java.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice, tasty one there.
Yeah.
And I've got the black label.
No, you got
green.
the mint.
The
Oh,
mint.
the menthol.
Yeah.
Menthol?
Yeah.
No, no,
Can you
not
talk-
menthol, but the mint.
Oh, the mint.
Like a mint, it's a mint chocolate.
Can you turn the top down?
Yeah, I can do that for you. And I really should reinstall that board, but the cable always gets stripped on.
So this is just this cheesy
You
little
gotta be
cigar
right above it.
thing I got on Amazon, but it looks fancy. But I got some Espanol Puro. How do you say it?
Espinal Puro.
Espanol Puro. Fred liked some of my videos, so he's sending me a new release pretty soon. So
Oh, cool.
I'm just getting ready for it. But some of my favorite cigars. I
Is
like
it like
those.
a superhero
Espinal
sandwich?
makes
where
some
you
really
can cut it
tasty
up and
stuff.
share?
Fred's a rad dude. He's fun to talk to.
Yeah, he's awesome. But yeah, these coffee flavored ones.
What do you
big
think of
fan.
that? I think that tastes like mint chocolate chip ice cream.
You said the menthol tasted like mint chocolate.
That's the one you grabbed is the mint. Does that not have a mint flavor to you?
But it's not menthol.
Not
No.
menthol. It
I
should just be
was
like a
you
mint
were
chocolate.
joking.
I was
Oh,
joking.
good, because I
Yeah.
didn't want to smoke a menthol.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
it's-
thought it was like a menthol.
I was like,
cigar?
it's
Yeah.
kind of minty fresh, like menthol. It's like a menthol
Oh, okay.
cigar.
No, I like it. Yeah, it does taste like chocolate chip.
Awesome.
Yeah, I actually really like that on occasion.
When
What
I
do you
sell
change
those mint ones, it's always, do you like a York's peppermint patty? And if they say no, I go somewhere else to a different stick. You know, we're not. This one's not for you.
I am having the DeSalle Vintage series.
What?
Diesel Vintage.
Oh, okay.
I'm having the Diesel Vintage series, which is very similar to the Unholy Cocktail so far. It's got a little bit more funk to the wrap. Like I can't really put my finger on it, but like it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Perique has that funk to it.
Yeah.
I think it's a fermented wrap, but I didn't look it up before I started smoking it. I will halfway through and correct myself that I'm completely wrong.
Maybe.
But I'm going to put $1 that it's probably barrel aged or something where it ferments.
Probably.
It has a very cool box on it, though. They got
That box is legit with
the leather strap for the hinge latch, the two tray system there.
yeah,
it is
and then the
cool.
burlap sash that goes all the way
Mhm.
through, so you just pull it and it pops a cigar out. I think it's pretty cool. Like definitely, I would say about half the cost of the cigar is probably the fucking packaging. But pretty good cigar.
Mhm.
I'm enjoying it so far.
Diesel solid.
So what's
Have
your?
we said hello to the commenters
Oh,
on here
yeah.
yet?
So we did have Machine Gun Monkey come in before we started.
Yeah.
He
Always
is
first.
fucking dedicated.
What's up, dude? Thanks
Yeah.
for being here.
That's a good guy.
Thank you for monkeying. And then we also
Sean.
have Sean.
What's up, Sean?
I don't know who Sean is, but he is a Sean. One of many.
So do you have
SE,
any?
not ASH.
Oh.
Important distinction.
Mm.
Do you have any good dog stories? Like, did anybody just drop off a feral pit bull to you?
Yeah, actually, yeah, one of the last kind of pit type dogs that I was training. Freaking this when I first got the dog, it's an so it looks like a pit, but it's like way bigger. The dog was probably like 120
One of
pounds.
those bully mixes.
Yeah, it was a XL bully.
American pit bull
Yeah.
/ bully.
Yeah, but it was one of the bully breeds, and like a pit bull, like most people think pit bulls are big. They're actually really kind of like small. They're like maybe 40 pounds, 35 on the female, males maybe 40, 45. They're not super like big, but this
They're meant to
fucking-
be just tenacious little
yes,
bastards.
yeah, and they're good hunting dogs for sure. When I lived in Louisiana, a lot of people use them to hunt hogs, but
I can't imagine a pit bull digging down like 180-pound hog.
well, but there's also
Grab
like
by the nose.
because they used the bull bait, and that's when they grab the bull by the nose and pin the bull down, and then it was outlawed, and then they used them to hunt. But there's also like 20, 30 of, or maybe 10, 15 of them going after a hog, kind of like, hey, can 100 people beat up a gorilla? They kind of like that. They just jump it and just start fucking it up.
God damn it. Here's a question. That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would have
Yeah,
been
no,
Now we're
bigger than
getting to
that.
it. Now we're getting to it.
Yeah.
But
This
there's
is one of
100
those
people.
American ones
Yes.
that they just bred to be massive.
Yeah.
And it's got that pit bull.
Yeah,
face.
and he wasn't socialized. So when I first got the dog wanted to tear my fucking head off, and like was like, I don't know you, I don't like you. He got me too, actually, over here, and I'm surprised he didn't break my hand because he's a fucking massive dog. And
I just saw he squirm talking about this dog, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
dear God.
yeah, but then after the 2 weeks, it obviously it wasn't like we're at the end of the 2 weeks and now he's cured. Like obviously it took some time. But yeah, like if you were to meet the dog now, you would be like, this dog was never aggressive or bad. Like it was a complete night and day switch. But yeah, he made me nervous a little bit.
He would've
Yeah.
killed somebody. It sounded like.
No, he absolutely would have. He absolutely could have, for sure. So if you have a bad dog, get them into training, please.
Did anybody
Yeah.
bring one of those weird? What are those like 170-pound? Not the Karelians, but those big Russian bear dogs.
Oh,
Is it
Caucasian Shepherd.
Yeah. Did you ever-
Yes, I had one, and
They're
he had
pretty chill dogs,
yeah.
aren't they?
This guy was not chill
Okay.
at all. I'm sure if they're socialized, like any dog, like if you socialize them and
They chill the fuck out.
yeah, then they chill out. But like people, especially during like the time of COVID, people would get these dogs and they'd all be in the house. They'd never seen another person in their entire life, and then, all right, we're going outside, and they're like, what is going on? And it's too much for them. It's an overload. So
I've
if
never
you
even
get
thought about that.
Yeah.
All this talk of COVID and the effects and the after effects,
Yeah.
et cetera. Unsocialized dogs.
Yeah.
I didn't think about the dogs
Yeah.
sitting in the apartment for 5 years and it's suddenly being released
Yes.
into society. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
yeah, so
Go ahead, sir. You
no,
mentioned the
absolutely, yeah,
kids.
yeah.
Yeah, the kid. Yeah.
Yeah. So like
Never
if you
thought
get a
about
puppy, even like, okay, yes, I would like for you guys to use us as a training, but as long as they're getting trained, that's the most important thing. And like when you have a young dog, you bring them to places like Home Depot, Lowe's, let them hear noises, let them see things. Because because it might be cute when they're growling at you now, but when it gets older, it's not so fucking cute.
Yeah.
And when, especially if they hurt somebody, like, because that's going to be on you. And then the dog is also, they put dogs down when they do stuff like that.
Yeah,
And,
sure.
yeah, so bring them to places like Home Depot, Lowe's, the park, anywhere that has a lot of like people and it's busy. I'd bring them there when you first
You
get
can
a
walk
dog.
the outdoor section.
Absolutely, yeah,
Go pick some flowers.
yeah,
Get
Yeah.
some mulch.
Socialize.
absolutely, yes,
Great.
yes.
Well, that's important work. We all love dogs, and
Mhm.
it sucks. It sucks when you see somebody that's just got a shitty dog and they don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
It's not the dog's fault; it's the person's
Yeah,
fault. But
and they're
it's a
just
problem
letting
for
them- yeah.
everybody. It just sucks. You're like,
Yeah.
man, why do you have to be like that?
Yeah.
Everyone knows how great dogs
Yeah.
are.
I literally
That's good
feel
work,
that
man. I'm happy you're doing
every
that.
single
Thanks
time
for
I
thanks for
step in a
Thank
pile
you.
of shit.
These guys all have dogs and they're socialized pretty good. I mean,
Yes.
they come in the shop here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
had-
you have a
I had a dog, and they were not. They were very unique.
and that happens.
It was a
Your-
15-year-old like
So
Pomeranian poodle.
Your dog would have
Oh,
gotten squished.
Huh?
Your dog would have gotten squished.
Yeah, no, but it was just like he was a big swinging dick, and like he didn't realize he was small, and he didn't yap yap yap. It was just like, I'm gonna do what I want. I literally
Yeah,
saw
Napoleon.
him eat a sandwich that weighed more than him in 45 seconds, and then
Yeah.
was completely fine, and just had a massive shit 3 days later. And I'm just like, how the fuck does this work? He ate my
Yeah,
shit.
like a hoagie, and he's the size. He's like
Yeah.
a smaller hoagie with legs.
He's like a 6.5 pound dog, and he ate like
Like
an
a
8 pound
5 pound
fucking like chicken marinara sandwich from Ski and Benny's, and I'm just
Yeah.
like,
did he look
this
like a
does not
snake
physically
after,
fit.
like when a snake eats like
Yeah.
a fucking?
I just set
Yeah,
it down.
dude's just
Yeah.
tiny jawed.
I set it down. And I turned around, and he's sitting in the box, and it's empty, and I'm like, what the fuck?
You're like, you motherfucker! Like, I'm pissed you ate my sandwich, but I'm also impressed
I'm impressed.
you were able
That's
to
a
eat
Ron
that
Burgundy
sandwich.
moment. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not even mad. Like,
I'm
why'd you do that?
impressed.
Everyone
Yeah.
would get kind of like oddly upset with him, but at the same time, just like,
Yeah,
I'm kind of mildly impressed.
So tell us about the e-collar, because sometimes it's controversial, but
yes, yeah.
like with my Akita, I don't think you could do it without an e-collar.
Yeah, especially for like off-leash stuff,
Mhm.
you need to have a way to be able to get that dog's attention and recall it. There are a lot of misconceptions about e-collars. People think that you're shocking the shit out of the dog, and that's not what it is. Now, if you go all the way up and you press it, yeah, that's gonna suck for him or her, whatever you know.
It's supposed to be a mild
Yeah.
reminder.
But The e-collars that we use, it's called the Mini Educator, and you can get them on Amazon and stuff like that. If you ever had your hand fall asleep, that kind of like pin and needle type little like fuzziness, it feels exactly like that, but in an isolated spot. I remember I had the e-collar in my hand and I was trying to get a dog's attention. I forgot I didn't put it on him yet. And I'm like pushing the button. I'm like, why does my hand feel? I was like, oh, because I got it in my hand, fucking dumbass. But yeah, so
we're talking mild discomfort. It's enough to, it's like a hey buddy, but it's
yeah,
not
no,
like
it's a tap on the shoulder. Now,
Yeah.
if you go all the way up, yeah, that's not gonna, they're gonna be like, what the hell is that? But you start low and you go high until you find a number that works for them. You kind of want to see like a little like head nod, because I know it's working, but I know it's not too high. Because if it's too high, then the command you're giving them, they're not paying attention to the command. They're just like, get this thing off me. And I don't want them to hate the e-collar. I don't want them every time they see it like, I'm fucking bugging out of here because you're getting me too much. No, so I want to start low and then go. Yeah, absolutely not.
And of course, the cool dogs now are all like the Belgian Shepherd.
Yep.
Style.
Yeah.
Have you worked with those before?
Yeah. I got a Belgian Malinois now. Yeah, as a puppy. So he's like 5 months old, super cute.
People buy them and they don't like. I saw a video of one like girl. She was just like messing with one and like she went like that to it, and it like turned around and bit her nose, and then it showed like her nose was like all deformed after that, had hair growing out of it.
If it's not your dog, if it's not,
It turned to like the size of a potato. And it was all fucked up.
Hair growing out of it.
Is this
Yeah,
Sasquatch
while she was-
werewolf shit?
Yeah, while she was healing, like they had to put fish skin on it or something. They had all this hair. fucking come out.
I'm just imagining like, there's hair on your palms, but how the fuck do you get hair on your nose?
It was such a
Like-
bad bite that it brought down some of her eyebrow and turned it.
Maybe she
was
had
like
really hairy nostrils.
she was
and it
pretty,
just
too.
kind of
Yeah.
opened it up
Oh,
to
invert it.
Was she
spring
part
out.
of the Chernobyl softball team?
fucking who knows? Probably.
They can be dangerous dogs. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it's like high energy.
So like you obviously are a transplant to Alaska, like most people are.
Yep.
Like, how the fuck did you end up here? And then second off, how did you end up training dogs in Alaska as a collar?
Great question. Appreciate it. So I was in the Army for 7 years. And after I left, I kind of wanted to be where some of my friends are. So I had friends that were stationed up here. And after leaving the Army, I was looking for work. And one day I was on Indeed and had a couple whiskeys. I was like, oh, dog trainer, that looks pretty interesting. So when I put in the application, it was, hey, you put in the application and then you go to Virginia, DC area. And for like 4 weeks, we learn how to train dogs.
Okay.
So I put in the application, forgot that I even did it. And then I get a phone call from Justin, who's the owner of Off Leash. And he was like, hey man, I'm looking for dog trainers. And then I went to, DC, Virginia area, and I learned how to train dogs. And then after I went through the training, then I lived with my friend for a few weeks until I got my house. And then I got my house, and that's where I've been doing it ever since.
Nice.
Yeah. I just decided, I was like, well, I pretty much left with the clothes on my back and started a completely new life.
And then earlier you were talking about how you want to be a door kicker in Illinois.
Yeah, SWAT. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no shortage of crooks in Chicago, so.
Yeah. He'll be leaving state, so that's why I wanted to bring him down here and have
Yeah.
some cigars with him and stuff.
But, my girlfriend really loves the Alaska area, so I'm sure I'll be back vacationing sometimes, and we'll have to meet again.
I mean, Illinois is pretty.
There
when you get
are-
outside the city.
Yeah, outside the city, yeah.
There's parts in the city, like depending on the architecture and
Sure.
like, the style of the buildings,
Yeah.
can be very pretty. But like, I mean, like they're yeah.
Really, Michigan has a lot of like,
and it's just
like
a hop,
Upper
skip, and
Peninsula.
jump away. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but Michigan, I got family in Michigan too, but Upper Peninsula is like, it's like its own country almost. It's super cool. Yeah.
And you're hoping for SWAT and then
Yeah.
maybe state trooper after that, or what?
Well, so the state police has their own SWAT team, and they, you know, go on
Are there a
high
lot
risk.
of unincorporated?
In Illinois?
Towns?
Yes, yeah. But so the unincorporated stuff.
I always thought that was like not really a thing.
No, it
except
is.
outside Alaska, unless a town failed and like
No.
disappeared.
Yeah. That's where like county
Mhm.
sheriff would be, is the unincorporated places. But yeah, there's a lot of like, you know, kind of flat farmland, like, you know, redneck
There's a
living.
sheriff and
Yeah,
two deputies.
Yeah,
and they need
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's all that. Where I lived, it's, you know,
So you're gonna be fighting Walter Goggins then, basically.
okay, we'll see. But
I hope not. Those teeth are dangerous.
I can get you. But yeah, yeah, like you have like Chicago, and then everywhere else is normal. Yeah, so yeah, people in
Chicago's
Chicago,
pretty normal.
huh?
Chicago seems pretty normal. I mean,
Yeah,
besides
right.
all the.
But you're gonna, says the guy
Yeah,
who's
it
gonna
depends on what-
retire Detroit.
I know, right?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
true. Okay, I hear you. But yeah, and it just depends on where you're at, you know.
We keep trying to get convinced that Detroit's perfectly fine, guys.
Yeah,
perfect.
it's
not.
fine.
No, it
Frickin-
It's perfectly fine.
It is fucked
if
up.
you don't look around, it's fine. Just look at the fucking ground.
It's-
You're good.
Dakota's incrementally sending water there from here, so that when he gets there, he's a
Does
prepper.
it-
He's
yeah.
a water prepper basically.
Does it
He's-
run
he just
into
spends a couple
issues?
water
Yeah.
bottles and a flat rate every
so I don't
month.
have to deal with Flint. Yeah.
Yeah. You're just in case.
The mayor of something town was the show I was thinking of. What's it called? The mayor of the Jeremy Reiner show.
Not Brookstown.
No, the mayor of. Anyways, it's a show about Jeremy Reiner's like the head of the. He's like a commissioner of these jails, and then like all his brother's a cop, and then his good friend's part of the SWAT team, and it's a crazy show, but everything.
Mayor of Kingstown.
Mayor of Kingstown, really good show, but that's kind of what.
He
reminds
plays.
me when you-
He plays Mike McCluskey.
Yeah, Mike McCluskey. Yeah.
Oh man, one of my favorite punk rock bands is called McCluskey.
Mike Wachowski.
Wachowski?
Mike Wachowski.
Wachowski?
Well, fellas, how's our cigars doing?
Yeah, we should probably
Chat. Oh
check
yeah,
back.
you got a new one. This is the
So,
Punch
how's
Bottle
that
Rocket?
fucking
Is that what it's
firecracker
called?
going?
Firecracker. That's right.
Name a common flavor you have in cigars.
Cedar.
Paper.
Not paper. That's not
Vanilla.
common. No, not vanilla.
Spice,
So
oak.
yeah,
Cherry.
oak, cedar,
Okay.
leather,
Espresso. Dark chocolate.
a little. They do say a little coffee in there, but basically it's like everything freaking wrapped into this. It's very odd. It's pretty heavy.
I've noticed most of
I like-
Punch's newer offerings are very heavy, very heavy.
I like it better than that one. It's not coated in the mouth or anything like that, but the
You're saying it's got a lot going on. Is it positive?
yeah.
Is it like bold and stuff? Is it confusing? Is it
For
too much?
me,
What
it's,
do you- is it a good lot?
There's a little bit more
Are you
of like
getting
the oak
overstimulated?
and
Do you need like
leather.
nose plugs?
No.
Okay.
But it's just a little heavy on one more than the others. I wish it had a little bit more of the cedar, less of the oak, like the darker flavors.
Does it lean a little more
Does it have a lot
sweeter
of
flavors or
cacao?
a little more dry flavors?
A little drier.
Or dry flavors. Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
So
I've had great experiences with some of these funky new release stuff that Punch has been doing, and I love it because Punch is
Yeah.
one of those OG kind of dinosaur brands, but like they do like fun limited stuff. I mean, they made a bottle rocket cigar. I saw one the other day. I actually got to double check if this is a joke or not.
Did they
But
do
it was
the, they did
combined
the
with
Fu
a,
Manchu, right?
they did the Fu Manchu. It was a
Mhm.
fantastic cigar. But also
was so
they had
salty.
one with a slim. Was it a Slim Jim?
Yeah.
Was that a joke or is that real? Because it's a cigar and then
In a Slim
it's a
Jim
cigar up to
wrapper?
here and the band and where it comes out, it's a fat ass fucking Slim Jim and
It's like
they just do these fun packaging things. Although that might have been AI, it might have been a joke on this.
I thought Cigars Daily did a deal on it.
I really like
don't
the,
know.
I like
I-
the Dad Bod one that came in the
Dad
beer
bod,
can.
yeah,
Yeah.
the cigars are shaped like a fat guy. Anyway, and a lot of them tasted great. I like that they're doing fun stuff. You know what I mean? They're out there making fun,
That's
unique,
cool.
cool things.
You
The
could be right. It
embodiment
could have
of a
been
real
a
father figure.
April
It might have been
Fool's.
like a joke
Yeah.
because
Been a
literally,
vibe when
can
you
you
forget
package
to-
tobacco and
Yeah.
beef together in the same thing?
So
I'd fucking do it. You tell me you wouldn't hurt and light up.
Fuck yeah.
What if you clip the beef stick and smoke through it? I want to know these things.
Fucking
Okay.
asking real questions.
You
How's your
have,
cigar?
you have made promises that need to come to fruition next live stream.
Well,
Yeah.
all right, we're gonna figure it out. Again, I'm smoking McAuliffe Black or Black Label. I ran in here in a rush. I didn't have time to really look this up, but it's Dominican. No, Esteli, Nicaragua cigar. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's good. It's smooth.
It's good.
I talked to some of these people before in a live stream. I think they're just nice people. And this cigar, I don't know what I'm getting. Kind of like you said, it's a little bit of woody, but not too much. Nothing aggressive. I guess it's mostly a dry profile, but it's not bitter or anything. It's not too peppery, but there's a little bit of spice, maybe a little bit of bready. Getting some bready that's like heavier rye, maybe some rye kind of bready notes. It's great. I think this is a great cigar. It's mid-price too.
That's a bad idea.
Built like a tank. I'm burning perfectly here. Smooth, nice draw. I would say it's pretty much perfect draw. Still feels nice and solid throughout. It's a great stick.
We got plenty of them too. Got 6 different boxes and 2 bundles from McAuliffe recently. So
Yeah, you got 3 tiers, right?
Yeah.
There's a bundle. This is one of 3 mid-priced ones I saw on there, and then there's some like premium ones
Yep.
too. That
I've had a couple of their premium ones. I gotta tell you, like if you're gonna have one cigar over the course of a few days and that's it, the Black's the way to go.
I'm impressed. I think this is a great smoke. How you doing, man?
Perfect.
What are we
Yeah.
on again? The Java.
So yeah, the Java.
Drew Estate
Yeah.
Java. That's right.
Yeah. This I like. I feel like I could smoke this in the morning with my coffee.
Sure.
you know,
And,
it's a common
know-
common way of describing it.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'll be
Yeah.
honest. I don't know if I've ever smoked it, but it's supposed to have a bit of a cherry flavor. Does that resound? I think anyway. That's what it's like. It's like a
hint in
chocolate
there.
cherry kind of thing. Do you pick that up?
Oh man, he did a proper retro hill there. Yeah.
I don't know if I would get the cherry, but definitely it's not like super heavy. Like it's like a mid nice like coffee, like just easy smooth smoke is what I would describe it as. It's not something that
And it's not ashing on you like crazy. It's not
No.
running. It's a
No.
nice kind of
No.
well constructed,
yes,
easy going.
nice,
absolutely.
relaxing type of cigar.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
for sure. That's for sure.
All right. Well, the
Cheers.
guy that actually believed this was a menthol cigar,
100%.
which they don't make.
Yeah.
So you
I mean,
guys turned me on to
I
the
can
Mark
get some
Cameron
menthol and
books.
dip it in there.
Right. You guys turned me on to the Mark Cameron books, which I love. I've read a couple of them. And then you guys also turned me on to the Jack Carr books because I got the Winkler Tomahawk, Tactical Tomahawk.
I remember
And-
that. You had, God, that one.
I need another one, though.
You had
for
that
the
one
last-
fantastic song where you're like doing the weeaboo dance in the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was gold.
But you got to save me the next one that comes in because I need one more to complete the triad of Bigfoot. So if another one comes in, there's
So
one more
you've got
buddy.
the weird one that's got the double.
I got the Spike.
Okay.
I got the Spike, and then my buddy has like the classic one. And then there's one guy in our Bigfoot group that doesn't have one. So the next.
So we got to get a different one.
Any
Winkler, they're so hard to find.
I got to be
Plus,
honest. You should do RMJ and just get Snuggles and the 3 different versions of Snuggles, which are all Warhammers.
you guys get those in more often than.
They're so
Well,
much-
you get the half face blades ones too.
We do, but an RMJ Snuggles is exactly what you want.
Yes.
Okay.
You can deal with crab and crustaceans and all sorts of stuff. You can do nuts.
Do you guys
You
have
can do
one?
nuts.
Not anymore,
Oh,
but
But
yeah,
you'll get one.
Oh, we'll get one again.
eventually
Okay,
another one
save
will
me.
come in.
On a long enough timeline.
So, anyways, I was reading Jack Carr's latest book, and he spent a whole page describing how this guy lit his cigar perfectly by blowing out on it first and then evenly lighting it. It was like
We were
literally
running
a
5
full
pages short,
page.
so we, added a little bit of filler.
But I tried to do that, and of course I fucked it up. But I need to read that page over. But
I mean,
yeah,
if you
do
want to
cigar-
learn how to do toasting, we can show you how to do that.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
to show me. But we both wanted a coffee
Yeah.
tasting cigar. And
Yeah.
it's wondrul.
Glad they
Perfect.
were at the- Yeah. And
You-
I like
you-
the,
do you
I like
taste
the
the
shape.
mint in it?
I taste the mint in it. Yeah, it does taste like a menthol a little bit.
You know, you're talking about this long exposition about how he lit the cigar and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I have learned, in my time being around this kind of stuff, there's an element that is shared with things like wine and sommeliers, or maybe spirits, food, certain things like that,
Yeah.
where there are very real aspects of what's being talked about,
Mhm.
but there is a hefty spoonful of pretentious bullshit
Yeah.
in there too.
Oh, yeah, I hear you.
And you can spend / waste a lot of time caring about it. Granted, there is some truth in there. There's a certain method of doing it might just help you enjoy it better. Fucking whole page tell you about it. Well, I mean, like, just fucking light it, enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like,
Be like,
I split the difference. You know,
like Chad. This pairs well with my Red Bull.
Dude, that's why my man Chad here's got his Red Bull all the time. He's the
Red Bull,
least
smoking
pretentious
jacket.
dude in the here. Like, I'm having an Arizona hard tea with peach.
So I'm more of the Pirates of the Caribbean pirate, while you're talking about the Somalian pirates.
What?
Oh, Somalia, sorry. Somalia.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Not
Wow,
pirate.
You worked hard for that one, Chad. Good job.
I was
That was a hard reach.
Leaving just crumbling breadcrumbs for fucking miles.
when I used to smoke ciggies in the 90s, and I was such a dick that I purposely bought menthols. So when anybody asked me, "Hey, you got to smoke it?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, here, have a menthol." I'm like, just to piss them off.
And then you meet the one guy who's like, "Can I have 3?"
Yeah.
Well, go to Chicago, Detroit.
That's all they sell.
Yeah, cools.
I mean, for me, I'm having the Diesel Vintage series. Was it again? Yeah, Vintage.
Vintage.
I did try to do a retro hail, and it was nothing but white pepper. It is a little bit spicier of a cigar. It's kind of ramping up. There's a little bit of white pepper in the background, a little hint of cedar. It's got traditional like Maduro notes, so a little bit of coffee in the background, but it's kind of fading. A little bit of baker's chocolate, but overall it's just kind of oily, which offsets the heat of the white pepper and like a really strong cedar flavor all throughout. I do enjoy the cigar. I'm not a huge fan of peppery cigars, but the way it's been constructed really tempers that flavor, which I do enjoy. I would not retrohale this fucking cigar. I cried and snorted.
So he retrohaled. How do you retrohale? Show me how to
Show him, Dakota. Do a good one.
Hold on. Okay. Let me show you again. So I had to figure this out for a
You
while.
push it in the back of your throat. Just like that. There you go.
It's you don't want to just take in a bunch and then shove it through your nose. I'll demonstrate what I do.
Basically,
A little of both. I start letting it come out of my mouth, and I don't know what the fuck I do, but I open that valve or something that also lets it come out of my nose a little bit. I don't force it. You don't go hard. You want to go gentle.
Basically,
Let it start flowing out, and then
nice
just
slow push.
open that thing that lets it come out your nose a little bit too.
I don't know why.
So don't suck it in like Dakota did, and then go
inhale.
and then be like, "Oh my god!" And
That's the only valve I got, man.
with
This
retro,
one's good for retro.
You're just getting extra flavors out of it.
But
it adds to the experience, but if you're not used to it, you
it'd
could
be uncomfortable.
You're gonna probably cry a little bit.
walking the line between
like wasabi.
maybe your nose
that-
is gonna detect
the
some
burnt
extra
feeling,
stuff and add to the flavor. Maybe it's just being a little bit pretentious and pinkies up and do it if you want or don't if you don't. If you're enjoying it, you're having a great time.
There
That's
are
awesome.
some really rich, and when I say rich, I don't mean like hot cigars or like white pepper cigars. I mean ones that are really rich in like darker flavors.
Yeah.
Where if you do a nice cool, you blow through it, you let it rest for a minute, and then you pull a draw, let it sit in your mouth for a minute, and push it on through. You'll pick out some additional notes, and it'll make the flavor stronger because your olfactory is almost your entire flavor except for texture.
And I will second that. I've had that experience where you know, the retro does add a little something to what you're experiencing from the blend.
Like some of those Brazilian Puro cigars, like if you let it rest and stuff, you push it on through, it's just like nothing but chocolate, coffee, and it's just so pleasant.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take back everything I said about my cigar. It's calling me fat, and just to
It has a fortune.
little message on the back.
Leave the cannoli, take the cigar. That's great.
That's good. That's nice.
So,
That's a Godfather reference, right?
Yeah. Leave the gun, take the cannolis. Yeah. After Paulie gets his fucking brain
Now we
splattered.
know the dude who watches it on a yearly basis.
Word.
Yeah.
Damn
So,
right.
It seems like we got a comment.
Holy shit! We have a comment.
We got a whole new. Somebody's trying to slip in on the prizes on here. I think.
Read it out loud, Dakota, for everybody.
So what were the cats saying that you had to hear? Yeah, I know. I know. I spelled it wrong. Thank you.
Say, fucking get off my
What did
back.
they say though?
He's hearing cats.
He's hearing cats.
I'm getting some tingling from this.
Heard-
I'm starting to feel the mint. The
Cats
the
heard.
more it burns down.
Nice.
That's nice. Huh?
Well, I mean, nice and that it's got a little bit of a kick to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's good.
No, there are some cigars I have retrohaled where, like I did it with my father, the Judge, a few times, which is one of the stronger cigars I've had. The Black is one of the stronger cigars I've had, and that was on an empty stomach. And
Hell yeah.
the nicotine hits super fucking hard, and you're just like, that was lovely and a horrible idea at the same time.
Yeah.
Dude, you should smoke this again. I've had times where cigars put me on my absolute ass, and I'll try it again, and it really doesn't.
I've
I'm
had it
having
recently.
such a mellow time with this right now. I think you just had like you said, empty stomach.
Ben,
you might have been chooching it a little
You're
much.
7
Like,
fucking foot tall and a real man.
you're
so
not
like,
that much shorter. You're like, we're similar sized.
I look up to you
well.
all the time.
I'm a couple inches taller than most people, but we're similar.
Yeah.
It's you probably just rushed into it on empty belly, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Try
I've
it
had,
again. It's so smooth.
I've had it since then, and I do enjoy the cigar. It's just I'm always reticent to retrohale that specific one because of
Yeah.
that experience.
All right, I feel you. Kind of like when you get too fucking trashed on Jägermeister when you're like 18 and you just puke for 2 days. You can never do it again.
Freaking.
Yeah,
It's
I can't do that. I can't do herbal liquors anymore. It's just,
Hey.
no,
Oh,
no,
freaking-
no, no, no,
As
no.
example, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Like everybody's got that thing. They drank too much when they were young. And
I don't.
Fucking
Yeah.
beanie weenies in a crock pot. Can't do that anymore.
Word. Yeah. No, I had a buddy
What?
try to keep up with
That was a
when
bad
I was
day.
in the army. He tried to keep up with me because I was known for being a heavy drinker. Not giving myself a pat on the back.
You're
but
not
that's just the
ginger
way.
at
yeah.
all.
you're in good
Right,
company here, brother.
right.
We,
Yeah.
we were all that guy at one
yeah.
respective time in our
But
life.
he was like, I'm turning 21. He's like, I want to drink like you drink and like get fucked up like you. I was like, are you sure?
Or just-
And then
There's no
yeah,
turning
once you
back
go down
once
this
we get
path.
yeah, I was like, there is no.
It's like
return.
when Mike told me, "Take my hand," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh God!"
Yeah. And yeah, at the end of the night, he had his head in the toilet. He goes, "That's the best fucking birthday I've ever had."
Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah, he was hurt the next day. We went to
But he
not
remembers
Waffle
it.
House, Huddle House, and he's just like eating his fucking grits. He's like, I'm never doing that shit again. But it was one time was fine. One's enough for me. So yeah, and we all knew that fucking you're lying. Fucking next week. Oh shit! I
Yep.
fucking told myself I wouldn't. Yeah.
So when do people need to get like a serious kennel board and train for their dog? Like at what point would it be?
So
a good idea?
honestly, so we start training at 5 months. I think that's a little bit young. It depends on the dog too, right?
Mhm.
So like Rottweilers, German Shepherds, those types of dogs, they're gonna be more okay at that age just because they're a little bit bigger and they're smart fucking dogs. So you know, hey, poodles are fine, but not my cup of tea. Which poodles like actually I got bit by a poodle too. Like people like they see it and they think it's like some like pussy dog and like actually they're
You got a
used
bit
to
of an attitude, right?
yeah they do yeah they're pretentious
Yeah.
pretentious
I
as
know
fuck.
by French royalty to hunt the peasants.
Yeah
Like,
absolutely
what the fuck do you think they're gonna do?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some like
Get off my
Monty-
fucking
that's some
land.
Monty Burns shit. Release the fucking poodles.
Release them.
They're
Always
immaculately coiffed. They're gonna rip
Yeah.
you to shreds, and they're gonna come back. We give them a bath, get blood out, and they're gonna
Yeah.
be nice and white again.
But yeah, like they were used a lot for like hunting and collecting like waterfowl. That's why they're
My
Yeah.
ex-wife has 3 fucking poodles, and it's
Fucking little
just like
shit
every
bags.
time I go over there, I'm just like,
ah.
oh my
But
god.
yeah, I would start training at like maybe a little bit older than 5 months, maybe like 7, 8 months. And don't wait
Mhm.
until your dog is bad.
Yeah.
Because then when I get the dog and I have to train them when they're bad, I have to kind of rewire their brain and kind of start from square one. But if you start the obedient stuff, even if you don't put them in a class just yet, when you start them off, training like puppies, you want to use like food and stuff like that. Like an e-collar isn't gonna be super effective when they're like
You do more of a
young.
carrot and a tiny bit of stick.
Absolutely.
And it depends on the person too. Like if
Sure,
they're not
absolutely.
if they're not that like authoritarian,
Yes,
they're
yeah,
more
you
of a
need to-
pushover,
yeah,
they
you-
probably need
Yeah,
some help.
yeah, and that's another thing. I rehabilitate the dogs and I train people. So, and if you're somebody who is not like that type A personality or can't kind of be that way, Maybe hold off on getting a freaking pit bull or German, you know,
Right.
like
Or the new
that
Belgian
dog-
Malinois everybody's excited
yeah,
about.
Belgian Malinois. Yeah, like that dog is not for you.
Corgis?
Mine was the perfect age. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
think
corgis are good,
mine-
but
For the
they
ass man.
yeah, fucking
They're silly
rump.
and funny.
Yeah, no, corgis are cool. I train a couple of
fairies
them.
ride them in the
Yeah,
battle. They can't be that bad. You know?
yeah, the freaking
Mine was just
Goddamn
starting at 7 months. He was starting to act like an alligator, and
Yeah.
we couldn't control him. My
Yeah.
kids couldn't control
Yeah.
him, so that was a
Absolutely.
perfect time. To
yeah, no, it was perfect because I think
7
he
months.
came to me at like 8 months, 9 months,
months,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah,
What's
no,
the breed that's used to hunt lions in Africa?
Borbal. It's a South African Mastiff,
Yeah.
and I trained one of those too. And that
my-
dog was 190 pounds. Like I'm not bullshitting.
My friend David.
And it's
has-
not a fishing story. Like this dog was big
My
as
friend
fuck.
David has 2 of them. He took them down with him down south where he's homesteading, and like
Is it a big?
they're both big.
Yeah.
They're both fucking huge, and like
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. They're completely like lambs with everyone else. I step foot on this property. They think I'm there to
They're
fucking
like-
murder them and everyone they've ever
Yeah,
known.
they're just like,
and they
I don't
fucking
like
hate
you.
me.
They're like, what the fuck?
My
did
kids
I
go
do?
on there. They just roll over. They're silly. They're fun. My wife goes there. I step foot on the fucking property. They want to rip my balls
Oh,
off.
fuck, it's an Amish guy. Kill
Yeah.
him.
yeah.
When his friends' dogs are doing that,
That's
would it
why
be a
I
good
always
thing
was
if
weird about
he
dogs.
pinned them? You know, so generally, if one of my buddies' dogs is messing with me, I will flip it on its back and pin it down.
Yeah. So the
Until they're big enough that they can
right,
throw you on
yeah,
your ass.
like with doing that, you got to be careful because with a big ass like Mastiff like that, like they can kill you in pretty quick.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get into a situation
He's
where
had a couple mastiffs at this
yeah.
point. Yeah.
And they're super strong dogs. They stopped using them for police work because they kept breaking people's arms. It's not because the German Shepherd bites harder or yada yada yada. It's because the dog's smart and can effectively grab, pin, hold you down. When you have a Mastiff,
They learn how to
they
fight.
bite a lot harder. Now they might not have like that same endurance as well.
Mhm.
But they're like full send. Like, guess
yeah.
what, chomp? Is that
Yeah,
what you're saying?
yeah, they're-
Yes,
yeah,
it's more.
yeah, absolutely, yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm
With
not
the-
saying like first meet though. This is like with the owner next to him and the owner's
Yeah,
calm and whatnot.
I mean, so like I would make them like lay down and like kind of like have a hand and be like, hey,
Mhm.
you need to chill the fuck out. And you kind of have to manifest that you're not bullshitting with them
Mhm.
because they can smell fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you like, if you were to do that, make sure you have a relationship with the dog first.
Mhm.
Like,
And
love has to be a
yes,
part of it, right?
absolutely.
Even the sternness has to come from a place
Yes,
of love.
of course.
But
Um,
stern.
Yeah, but you don't
Dad
want to.
stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But you don't want that dog fucking ripping your fucking hand off your face.
Yeah.
What about Doggo Argentino? Did you get one of those?
Actually, no, I've never had one of
Doggo
those.
Argentino?
Dogo Argentino. Yeah.
What?
Oh, they're
It's a
s-
breed.
They look
Yeah.
like a puma. They look
That
like
sounds
a
like a
panther.
meme.
So
They
they're
crop their ears.
yeah,
and
they're
just-
all
oh.
white, and it's like they kind of have that kind of pit look, but they're super athletic. And
Flanker.
yeah, it's like a lean, mean fighting machine. And there was a story where somebody had a Dogo Argentino, and the dog came back, and he was like all cut the fuck up, and the owner was like, I don't know what happened. He fucking walks out, and he finds like a dead mountain lion. Yeah, there was a mountain lion trying to go after the kids, and the fucking dog ended up killing this cat, which is
Did the dog
insanely
survive the
impressive.
encounter?
Yes, he did.
Wow.
He was all jacked up, but he did survive.
That's
awesome.
Yeah,
That's intense because we
Yeah.
all know how
cats.
strong and
Yeah,
intense cat. Big cats.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
What's
Freaking-
scarier than a big cat, dude? Like you
Yeah.
think of a house cat when they
Yeah.
don't do that.
Absolutely. And like, yeah,
They
like
got 4 of them. They're
uh-huh.
just like 4. Ah, like
The big pit bull.
you got to be like you were saying. You got to be not only aggressively strong as a dog on that side
Yeah.
if you're gonna do that, and like smart though too. Like you got to like have a tactic, like again, pin or something like those
the pit
cats.
bull
God
that
damn,
killed
that's impressive.
5 coyotes. That was a cool story too.
yeah,
You hear
yeah,
that one?
yep. I think it was Joe Rogan.
Right. you
Yeah.
talked about it,
Yeah, freaking the dog came back all fucked up, and he found 9 dead coyotes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
Got
got
a
a
dog just get drunk and go out and start some shit.
Yeah,
What happened?
yeah,
man?
no, he had a fucking couple tall boys. He's like, all right, let's fucking do
You know, I heard a lot of barking out in these hills.
I've got a
There's
I've
only
had a
one
bad
canine
goddamn
over.
week.
Uh-huh.
I've got another buddy's dog who's just energy, loves to play, but
Yes.
it gets to a point where he's not listening
Being annoying,
anymore.
yeah, and that's
and
why
so
I love
I-
the e-collar is because I can use it.
It's a subtle
for,
way to say,
yeah,
hey, stop
yes,
that shit.
yeah. It's a safe and effective way to get them in line and under control.
There was one we were using where you get the beep first and then the zap if they don't listen after that beep.
So yeah, the e-collar that I have, it does have a beeper on it.
Mm-hmm.
I use the beeper for like, if I'm at the park and the dog's super far away, I'll just tap the beeper instead of having to yell for him.
Yep.
Because he knows when he hears that beep, it means I want him to come to me.
Yeah.
The problem with using the beeper, like before you use the stem, is what's going to end up happening is you're going to ask the dog to do something. The dog's going to wait for the beep and then the stem. So you're having to ask him like 3 or 4 times.
Right.
Whereas I ask him once, and if I have to ask again, then I use the stem. So he understands like if he's going to play games, I got more games than Fisher Price. So it's gonna prevent you from not having to ask as much. What we want first time goes is the goal.
Sure.
So
You also want professionals to use the collar.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes idiots will order one off the internet. They don't
Yeah.
know what they're doing.
absolutely,
You're
yeah,
shocking the shit out of the dog.
yeah, and they don't know how to properly imply it. That's why coming to somebody like me, it is going to be super beneficial because the dog's 6 months to a year, you have that dog for 10 years. So you're not just getting the training in for that 2 weeks and that's it. This is going to it's an investment that's going to last for that dog's natural
As
life.
long as there's follow through.
And there has to be follow through. You can't have a dog go to the class and then all of a sudden be like, all right, he's cured. All right, my work here is done.
It's dual learning.
Yeah,
Dog
absolutely.
learning, dog parent learning.
Yes.
I do have a question about the e-collar though, and this might sound baited. It's not. It's pure like innocent curiosity.
Ask away.
If you don't need that higher setting, if you're not really supposed to use it unless you're just being a dick, why does it exist? Is there an, I guess
Yes, there is.
Is there an application where you might want to zap the holy shit out of a dog
There-
on high setting
yes.
on that? Because it seems like asshole bait, right?
Right.
You got some trashy
I
fuck
hear
that
ya.
doesn't- he's like,
Yeah,
fuck this dog,
absolutely.
man. Why give him the option?
Right.
What is the correct application of
Yeah.
that?
So the reason is because
Break
all
training and start fighting you.
Well,
yeah. So just like people, we have different thresholds and tolerances for things. So one setting that might be lower, another dog might not feel that just because they're bigger and you might need to just use more.
bigger, fatter,
Yeah,
hairier,
absolutely.
thicker,
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
dog. Just need
Yeah.
a little more penetrative.
Yeah,
power.
Someone explained to
absolutely,
me
yeah.
that
Okay.
dogs don't
I can see
have the
that.
same amount of nerve endings in their skin for some reason as we do.
I don't know. I'm not.
Someone,
I don't know.
Someone claimed that to me, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
I've
feel
never
pain
heard
the
anything.
same way or the same thresholds that we do.
I'm sure, like, just like with people, certain people, like, fucking chop their finger off and they're like, I'm good. And then somebody else stubs their toe and they're like, oh, God, I'm fucking dying.
Okay.
So
I've been stabbed, and I walked that off, and then I fucking hit my shin, and I'm like done for
Yeah,
20
so
minutes.
there's different
You
things.
could also,
Yeah.
maybe there's an element too of like walking amongst us everywhere in the world. A few people out there are fucking psychopaths. Some dogs are psychopaths. Like there's like no dog's a bad dog. It's usually the owner, right? On the other hand,
But there is neurological
everyone,
things.
including
Yeah.
dogs, are born with their own little personalities.
absolutely.
There's a couple fucking psychos out there.
I've had them. Yeah.
They,
For sure.
Maybe they need a
100%.
little bit more of
Yeah.
I've seen your hands.
Yeah. But also, like, I had a dog that took off after a moose. So I went all the way up and freaking let him ride the
Emergency
lightning.
situation.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Now,
All right, yeah.
freaking, you heard, but a moose is
Better
gonna
than
be,
moose stomping.
a moose is less forgiving than my fucking little lead
Yeah,
collar. Like
okay.
you'll forgive me later. We'll have a hug. I'll give you some treats, but like right now you're in serious danger and you have no idea what you're putting yourself in. So for situations like they're taking off after another animal or freaking like running off and going into the street, then that would be a time where, okay, we're going to go high.
Emergency full
Yes,
stop.
absolutely.
No, I can see that. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks for
to your
thanks
point,
for-
Dakota, the dogs not having a lot of feeling in their skin. I've not the first time I've heard that, but Tilly, she likes the butt rub. She does a little dance for him.
I've seen
I
that.
would
Tilly
assume
two-step.
it would
Got rough.
depend on the type of stimulation they're getting. Maybe
Yeah.
like a pain is
I've seen the
less,
dog in
but
shop before.
the feeling from a pleasure kind of pet type of thing going on is going to be different, maybe.
I was kind of curious.
But who knows?
My
Yeah.
dog had like the husky type fur, and so he added like longer poles on the
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Just to get through that.
Yeah. Did I get you the metal ones that are
Yeah.
silver, like
Yeah.
the longer ones?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
Real quick, we're
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and pay homage to our commenters here.
Absolutely.
We got Jason coming in.
Jason.
Jason.
If I can click, Jesus
What up?
Christ.
Yes.
Chad's overdressed but looking fly.
It's a handsome man.
Smoking
This is
jack.
Every
standard
time.
dress for
Yeah.
Chad.
Yeah.
This,
And
is,
then
this
there's
is lettuce,
A
tomato,
badass
onion right
jacket.
here.
I'll
This
tell you
is
what.
We got
ketchup,
normal shit.
ketchup and
we
French
also
fries.
got Dr. Old 442. He's rocking the old Hemi, blowing smoke.
What is that? What
Is he blowing smoke or farting?
He's blowing well, maybe both.
Oh, it's blowing smoke. I saw it as a hand, like someone was doing that.
Yeah. Just
The squid from Mario Brothers.
Oh well. What's up? Dr.
sideways.
Oz?
Yeah.
Puffing and tough. Hell yeah.
So now that you're mid-stick, and we're all kind of mid-stick at this point, how's that cigar progressed, changed, shifted, besides insulting you, telling you need to put down your cannolis?
Getting a little bit more bitter. But that
What kind of cut did
leather-
you do?
just regular guillotine. It was
Okay.
a torpedo, so
I was going to be like a guillotine shouldn't like tar up on you and get
Or
that kind of bitter.
bellicosa, not torpedo, but whatever. Yeah, it's getting a little bit oilier, a little bit more pronounced that
Not necessarily
direction.
nicotine buildup, but just getting harsher.
I mean, I'm feeling the nicotine buzz a little bit, but not.
That's a goal with you for
Much.
sure.
But yeah, it's the leather, the oak, both are pushing forward more than anything else.
Yeah. Is it like a sickly sweet oak, or is it just like an oakiness?
They claim there's some sweetness in it, but
You
it's
haven't
more
found
oak.
a single fucking craisin in there.
Mhm. Exactly,
All right.
No crazies.
Mr. Benjamin.
What about you, sir?
McAuliffe, Black Label, mid shelf stick. Just super smooth and nice. It's mellow. There's no one big flavor jumping out at me. I can
It's
say
good.
again, it's a little bit dark rye bready kind of thing. Not too heavy on that rye factor, but just maybe just a little bready in a dark kind of way. Coffee, I don't know, I think flavors, whatever. It's good. It goes well with my teas, honestly.
It goes well with everything.
I don't know. I think tea is an unsung pairing, whether it's a cheap booze beverage like this or like a really nice brewed cup of hot tea. Like tea has its tea leaves, cigar leaves. They go well. Anyway, the cigar's great. It's smooth. It's chilling. I've been puffing on it slowly, somewhat slowly, and
I will point out-
I'm mid stick. It's great.
Chad did not only ash on himself, he ashed in his collar and
Yeah.
into his
Party.
Lap a
suit
little
there
bit,
and his lap
and then on the
everywhere and
table.
on the table.
Well,
All
now
at
it's a
once.
party.
It is a party. How's yours
Yeah.
progressing?
So I would say mid stick. I'm starting to get a little bit more like peppery hits, I
Okay.
guess. So it is.
Is it like a burn or like a
Yeah.
discernible pepper?
Honestly, kind of a little bit of both.
Okay.
But I would say, yeah, probably it's more the heat, I
Okay.
guess. But yeah, no, I mean it's been solid the entire nothing super changed, but
Good with the Knob Hill.
the Knob Creek, yes, very good. So, yeah, very good.
Actually, he's pairing with Red Bull. You're doing an Arizona hard iced tea.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
This is something I, in a very
Green
big
River?
hurry, purchased from our local retailer, the Brown Jug. It's called Green River.
The brunch.
I don't know anything about it. Around here, Mike, all of us, we like to just
Oh,
try new
nice.
things. And so I'd never heard of this, so it's a new thing. Green River, the pride of Owensboro, Kentucky. It's full proof at 58.65% alcohol by volume.
Yeah,
Kentucky straight bourbon, sour mash whiskey. Yeah. Anyway, something new to me. It's not bad. I won't say it's like my new favorite, but it's pretty smooth for being almost 60%.
yeah.
I don't
that's
get
really-
a whole lot of tongue
You
bite
have a
or
good cork
burn
for
it?
sure.
Got a good cork. As soon as I turned it, I looked at you, but you missed the moment. But
No,
yeah.
a good cork is so good.
Yeah, Dakota's all about the cork.
shit.
Well,
He likes
if
to
you
get
cheap out on
in
the
if you're not,
cork,
I mean,
it just tells you about the rest of it. You know.
This says it was aged 9 years. Do you believe
got a
that
little
or
bit of
no?
sweetness, but not too much. Just the right amount, I'd say. Actually, it's a very fine whiskey.
And you're doing like a
Yeah.
faux old fashioned with, well, you're actually doing a real old fashioned with Knob Creek,
Yes,
which I do quite frequently. Brings out the vanilla, a little
Yeah.
sweetness.
absolutely.
Pretty good.
I mean, you said that it's aged 9 years. I mean,
They s-
maybe it's
I-
a hard 4 years. You know, they went into the military, and you know,
I think what they
It's an
do.
accelerated
Yeah,
program.
I've heard that they like
They just berate the whiskey.
throw in like some sort of like wood chips in there to like make it age faster. So I don't know if it's like, well, it like we just sped up the process.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they,
No,
they
it
got
is-
the.
like
it
you'd
is,
run out of
uh,
product if you're fucking waiting 9 years to get your product off
It
the
is-
shelf.
It
You
is
know?
a blended whiskey, but they do age it all at least 9 years.
Really? Okay.
So some of it's
So
a
I'm
little bit
talking
older,
shit.
but the minimum's 9.
Yeah.
There are companies that do artificial aging, but they'll
That's
say
what I
that
was-
on the
yeah.
bottle, and they use like electrolysis and a few other things.
Okay.
I will tell you, when you have those, you can tell the difference.
We had that whiskey barrel for a long time. That
That was so sickly sweet.
Yeah.
It
Well-
was just like,
Ungodly. Yeah.
I
You
mean,
guys fill up the infinity bottle yet?
it broke.
Damn.
new one started.
Airsoft.
We
You know
should
what?
start a new
That was
one.
always a pipe dream. I'm just gonna call it. That was a pipe dream for a couple of reasons. One is that, and I said this, I was like, you know what? If we want to do this, what we should do is when we get a new bottle, we put a splash in it to start, right? We don't fucking leave a
Yeah.
little bit of whiskey lying around. There's no. Oh, yeah, it's been sitting around with a little bit of whiskey in it. We might as well pour it in there.
Yeah.
That doesn't fucking happen. We
I have
drink.
not-
We're drinkers.
Yeah.
The whiskey's gone. It's
I-
gone.
I
The
have
amount
sat
that
here
you
It's
with you.
so rare that we
Yeah.
have. Oh, we should. No, we finished
Yeah.
that shit.
The
So I'm
amount you
like,
pour out is going to evaporate.
yeah, every time you open the cap, more evaporates out than there's left to pour in.
Yeah.
So, like, it was never gonna work. But it was a cool idea. So I was like, we got to start. But you got a fresh bottle of whiskey? It's live stream time. Who's gonna be like, let's pour some out for the homies into this bottle? It's like nobody knows. You know,
Yeah.
it was a pipe dream. It was
We
a great
should.
pipe dream.
I
but
like
it
that
was-
idea.
It was designed to fail though.
I think it
It's
should
gotta-
be, if it's a new thing we've not had before and we all try and we all like it,
An inch
an
every
inch
time.
goes
Yeah.
in.
Every time.
An inch.
That's a lot.
An inch.
That's
Then
she
you're gonna
said.
have like 10 bottles or however.
Yeah.
Like, no,
It'll
like,
still be interesting.
One
quarter
shot.
inch, an eighth of an inch, like a bloop, just a bloop,
A wet
Loop.
tongue, a little wet tongue.
just a wet tongue,
Little
just
wet
enough to wet the tongue.
Yeah, a little wet tongue.
But then
Well,
you're going
what-
to fail again and it'll never fill. So a
Well,
centimeter.
And then step 2 is don't put the bottle on a tall shelf next to a door that gets slammed 47 times a day.
Yeah.
Step 3 is it should be sitting in the middle of a fucking counter,
Just
up in the back.
don't put it on a flimsy wooden shelf next to a
don't
door
do that.
where people are furiously coming in and out of frequently. Like that's
All right, we're getting towards the end. So what's the name of it's
yeah. Let's sing the praise of this.
Alaska K9.
No.
Say the
No.
business again.
Off leash canine training, and then Alaska. Because
Cool.
Off leash canine is a franchise, so there's like 150 different types of off leash. But like I work for Off Leash, yes, like with the name, but like we're independent contractors, so I'm kind of like somewhat like my own thing, but I get the contracts from Justin. So like
And how can people find you like the easiest?
Yes,
I know you're
perfect.
on Instagram.
Yeah. So on Google, if you put in Off Leash Canine Training, and make sure to put in Alaska so that you get the right one. You know, because you don't want to click on it, sign up, and be like, oh shit, this one's from fucking Washington. So, but also we have a Facebook page, which is Off Leash Canine Training. That's probably the easiest way is to look us up on Facebook, because then we have a link where you can click, and then if you want to have your dog trained, then yeah, just click on the link and then you can sign up there. Facebook's probably the easiest. We do have an Instagram page, which is Off Leash Canine Training Alaska, And you can see, like, when your dog goes to the training, we put them on our Facebook and Instagram page, so you can actually see them doing their stuff. Now, when I have clients, I update them pretty much every day, and I send videos and pictures so that it's not like I just get the dog for 2 weeks and then it's like, hey, guess what? We're going to do some training today, and you have no idea what's going on. So,
It's more information.
yes,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So at least with me
It's
giving you,
interactive.
giving you the information when you go to train, you at least have somewhat of an idea of what's to be expected. We do have 1 week board and trains. We don't do the off leash stuff for only 1 week. In Alaska, I would just do the 2 week one because you want to be able to walk with your dog off leash and be able to do fun things with them.
Mhm.
On leash, we still use the e-collar, but I'm having the leash with the e-collar is fine if you're in a store or like busy place. But like if I was just gonna do like 1 week and have them on leash, I would just use a prong collar instead, because then you're not having to manipulate a leash and a e-collar. But with the 2 weeks, that we do all off leash stuff, and we go to places, Home Depot, Lowe's, the park, walking around downtown, so they get lots of exposure to a lot of new things. And by the time you get the dog back, it's not super surprising, and they've already had all this experience because we train every single day, multiple hours a day, so it's just a constant of them getting that information. Now once you get the dog back, I would say maybe try to do a half an hour a day. If you can do 5 minutes, it's better than zero. But after they leave the training, you have to still continue to train the dog.
Oh, yeah.
And do things with them, because like there's
Consistency.
because I had to do a couple refreshers, and that's another thing that's awesome about us is that we do free refreshers. So life gets in the way, you lost some time working with the dog kind of reverted back to some bad behaviors. I meet up with clients, and we'll spend a couple hours kind of fixing and tweaking certain things. So in my opinion, it's definitely worth the investment, not just for you, but for that dog as well. And for them learning and everything like that, it builds confidence in the dog. And you're going to have an easier time, and you're going to have a better relationship with your dog when you have them do the obedience training. Because they want to work, they want to do things, but they don't know how, or they don't know maybe why they're feeling the way they're feeling. And that's because they need structure and somebody who is going to put in the time with them. If you just kind of want to have a dog to have somebody around, I would say get a cat. If you're not going to put in the time, get a cat, because
Or recommend what are the top
fucking
three?
hamster.
What are the top 3 breeds of dogs that someone should consider getting if they're like, I really love dogs and I want a dog, but I know I'm a lazy fuck and I don't have time and I work too much and I just need a couch partner when I
absolutely.
get home. What type of dog should someone consider if they're like, I'm not into the training thing,
One of my
I don't have time, etc.
Yeah, I would.
What should they maybe look towards if they're going to do it anyway?
One of my favorites is definitely a golden retriever.
God, I fucking love Goldens.
Yeah. They are such.
I love a golden.
They're such sweet animals, and they are very forgiving. Like with your lack of maybe training and understanding of dogs.
They're silly. They're
Yeah.
affable. They're naturally so sweet. They're goofy and playful, but they're couch buddies.
Yeah, they can be your couch buddy too.
Yeah.
They are absolutely wonderful to have. Like people get like Frenchies. Frenchies are kind of like dickheads sometimes.
Dickheads.
No offense if you have one, but they can be stubborn, and people that have Frenchies will understand what I'm
Dalmatians
talking
as
about.
well.
Yeah.
Dalmatians are super high energetic. They're probably more energetic and like batshit than a Belgian Malinois. And like you would never expect that. You're like, the firehouse dog? Why is this dog fucking being a psycho? And it's just like they have crazy energy. One of the Dalmatians that I trained, holy crap. I was like, I felt like a fraud. I'm like, because the first couple of days, I'm like, I can't even, because you're just all over the place. I mean, obviously it worked out fine and the dog became awesome for sure. But yeah, Dalmatians, it's like it's an unexpected energy. You're like, oh fuck, like this is like more than what I bargained
That's such
for.
an uncommon dog. I don't.
Yeah,
think
it is.
I mean, I love dogs. Any chance I get, I'm insert myself into a situation with dogs, right? But I might have met
Mhm.
one Dalmatian
Yeah.
in my 40 years of life. Like, okay, so back to what I was asking you though. Like, if you're not up with it and all the you know, the higher end breeds or training or whatever, you just want your buddy, maybe a golden. What's is there like a number 2 or any others you might recommend?
Like a Jack Russell.
No, they have too much energy and they
I've
require
always
a lot.
enjoyed them personally.
So that's the thing. Like personally, you probably be able to handle Jake Russell just fine.
They're the best Jeep buddy ever.
I bet they are. Yeah. No, for sure. But like I said, like they got a lot of energy, so you kind of have to be involved in their life. Yeah. So like golden retrievers, labs are probably some of the. So labs can be a little bit more energetic, for sure. So.
Lab mutts do like like a random like black dog.
Yeah, mutts are great.
Little bow tie dog.
Yeah,
they're always so chill.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I would say golden retriever would be number 1. I adore them. They're such amazing animals. Lab would be number 2, and my number 3. I don't want to say it just because they do require training. I was gonna say German Shepherds are probably one of my favorite dogs, but you have to be involved. So I wouldn't recommend.
Let's just keep it. Get a golden or get a lab.
Yeah.
It's more goldens in the world. That's not gonna hurt anybody.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
I've had the pleasure of meeting a 4-month-old golden puppy the other day. That I loved this dog. Within 2 seconds of meeting it, it was kissing my little chin. It was just a little wiggle monster, and I was getting the little freeze-dried liver treats.
Yeah. Freeze-dried liver treats are some of the best treats for dogs.
Best little munchkin in the world. I just loved it immediately. Like, get a golden. If 2 things: come see this gentleman, get your dog trained.
Appreciate it.
Or get a golden. And get a golden and have him train it too if you want. But like, if you don't want to train something, get a golden.
I know a guy that breeds golden retrievers, and he took it to a pet psychic locally.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to react like that. Thank God I wasn't drinking something.
So she's the matriarch of this family of golden breeders. He brought it to a
I've heard it all.
pet psychic. The golden retriever's name was Mary Berry, and the pet psychic literally said, Mary Berry wants you to smoke pot and chill out a little more. That's what the pet psychic said. So.
All right.
I think
on that high note, we will see you guys on the first Saturday of next month.
Brandon, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next month.
Speaking of dogs, howdy.
Happy birthday, Libby, by the way.
Thanks for
Take
tuning
care.
in. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Everyone
What's up?
freeze. Oh, I gotta do a double click now? Fuck this shit.